family.
Aidan Flocka Blackhart. How
What's
you doing,
up?
brother?
What's up, Rocco, my man? How are you,
How you
my
doing,
friend?
bro?
Yeah, I'm
Good to
good.
see
I'm
you, man.
good. So every Friday, I get off work super early, and I come home and go straight to the couch and play video games and do dabs repeatedly. And then by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm fucking asleep for a couple of hours. So I'm actually just sort of waking back up and getting the rest of the evening started.
I was supposed to have maintenance here today. They didn't show up, so we had a flood in our kitchen last night.
Fuck yeah, you should set your house up like Home Alone, so when maintenance shows up, they fall into all these booby traps, and it sucks for them.
Paint can hits him in the face.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. Brother, it's good to see you, man. Great to see Count Flocula.
Hell yeah, man. I love ever
You
since
get
you
any cool
gifted.
new video games? Any good new
Uh,
shit the past few
only a
days?
only a million. My most favorite one, I haven't played it yet, that I've gotten recently would be Silent Hill 3.
Okay.
Get that in the
That's the one
shop.
that was like $100,000, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Boy, that's
Silent Hill for
crazy.
some reason is freaking expensive out of this world.
Yeah.
And then I've got the new Zelda Collector's Edition case.
Ooh, okay.
I'm playing it a shit ton.
How is that? I haven't had a chance to play any of the new Zeldas on Switch because
It,
life.
it's if you haven't played, do you have a Switch?
Yeah, I do.
Play it, freaking Breath of the Wild. It's the perfect sequel to it. I'm absolutely in love with the Tears of the Kingdom. Like I, Resident Evil is my favorite video game. I kind of stopped playing Resident Evil 4 remake and never finished it, and then just kind of put everything else on break because fucking Zelda's awesome, you know.
I understand fully. Wrestling kind of did that for me. Everything took a break, and now I'm full time producing and commentating and pretty much everywhere throughout Colorado. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
So
fuck, it's because you're the man.
don't do that. You're gonna make me feel like I did something good.
Well, I mean, it's every time someone starts putting you over, I immediately think of the first time I met you. You were just some dude out of nowhere coming to ADT, and you were like Gary's friend, you know, and you killed it, and you just became friends with everybody on site immediately because you were just so cool. So, like, I was like, hey, go meet all these Colorado people that I know because I wrestle there, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna cut. Then we're gonna come hang out, and then that's just exactly how it happened.
Boy, it's so ridiculous. It was like a tidal wave. I started at Primo's off of your good word. They're like, oh, hell yeah, Aiden's good people.
Fuck
I
yeah.
came in. I must have done an all right job or at least decent enough for them to keep me. So, hey, we're still kicking, man.
Oh, you're the shit, man. I love my
I appreciate
Colorado
that.
people. Like everyone out there is the shit.
Yeah, man, slaves coming up in September.
Oh
We
yeah.
about to throw down. It's going to be crazy. You went head to head with Satica last year, man. What was that like going head to head with that crazy bear?
It's just nuts, I guess. It's hard to explain it. Like you're just in the middle of it, punching some bitch in the fucking face, and then the
Bro.
next thing you know, you have an entire shot of Jägermeister in your eyeball. You know what I
Yo, when
mean?
you guys hit that finish off the stage through the glass, the neck break, that was wild.
Oh,
That was such a wild ending.
I'm so proud to have like posted for that and hit it perfectly because that was so much fucking
So
fun.
good.
That was the shit, you know.
Yeah, that was an awesome evening. Do you got any deathmatch tournaments coming up? Anything
Other than ADT, no, I don't got
What is
shit.
ADT? What's that?
the Asylum Deathmatch tournament?
Never heard of it.
You commentated. You commentated some of them.
I
What
got a bug,
coma
Gary.
what coma did you get put under?
Well, I went to Gary's house beforehand, so you can imagine. All right.
Ah, okay. There you go. There you
And
go.
then he was having me help set up all the show and all that, so I didn't get no damn sleep. I was,
Hell yeah, hell
yeah,
yeah.
that was a fun evening though, man. ADT 2?
Yeah,
You
that was that weekend he had that big fucking giant fairgrounds thing, and then all those other feds were there. Which
yeah,
the shows afterwards, like all that dude that was running around saying the N word, like that was so fucking unnecessary and
he said
dumb.
it to Joey Collins, my commentator. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bruh.
fucking Gary should have just took care of AWR. You know what I mean? Let all those other dudes put on their own shows on their own time.
Yeah,
They're
they
gonna
fucked up, man.
gonna run
That was
around, use the N word, and act like maniacs. Act
bruh.
like
We
let's
handled
act
it
like
though.
let's act like cool maniacs. Wrestling maniacs.
Exactly. Speaking of wrestling maniacs, man, XCF, new promotion, kind of on the scene.
Sort of new, sort of old. Actually, this is our backyard wrestling fed.
Yeah.
And I'm like really excited about my upcoming match this month against Lord Crew for the Destroyer title because that belt, its lineage goes all the way back to my backyard wrestling fed when I was a kid in the elementary school, early middle school in the late 90s.
You weren't just born into this god, Aidan Blackheart? What?
No, man. Like back when we were elementary school and shit, like there was legitimately, I want to say, four, maybe five backyard wrestling feds in Marion County, Kentucky, which is some little bumfuck. Like
That's where the
I would expect that in Denver. I would expect five backyard wrestling feds in Denver, but in Lebanon, it was it was insane at that time. Those you could go to the video rental store and pick up Best of Backyard Wrestling, and it just became this phenomenon, right? So my backyard fed was called Ass Kicking Wrestling.
let's
Yep.
go.
And then we had
Mine was No Limit Wrestling Federation Extreme because I had to have Extreme in there.
that's
But I had to
amazing.
rep No Limit too, you know what I'm
See,
saying?
we had the extreme title, which I won, and like I was like the longest reigning extreme title and held it the most and stuff.
Let's go.
But
Let's
I'm
go.
facing Lord Crew at the next XCF show for the Destroyer Championship, which started back in my backyard fed. So it's actually like
That's
a really,
awesome.
really, really cool kind of lineage that I'm gonna have to bring up in my promo. I'm just lazy about doing them.
Speak on some of the original XCF characters, some of those guys that
Uh,
started in the company that you see now.
some of them, like you, I'm gonna have to full on shoot for a minute. When this happened, when this started, and they were hitting me up for it, I was like, "This is the dumbest fuck. Like, why? They haven't wrestled in 13 fucking years. This is only gonna suck." And some of them completely blew my mind. One that really comes to mind is Mongoose. His XCF tenure, he was 7 or 8 years old at that
Oh
time,
boy.
and this is like 2013.
Oh, and Driver 99.
Yeah, so he's the little fucking kid in 2013, and I powerbombed his last match. I powerbombed him off the top rope of a wrestling ring to the outside onto a table that had Satu Gin laying on it, and I powerbombed Mongoose like into Satu's face the last time I saw him. Um, Fuck, one of them is an older cat named Greg, Jamie Vincent. See, I'm thinking of their backyard names and like
Kayfabe, bro. You're good. We're
yeah,
good.
their
Hey,
name
we're all
back
good.
home, and they just started wrestling. I'm trying to like remember what their new wrestling name is and stuff.
Oh,
So
Hammer, baby.
yeah, Hammer Jamie Vincent. He uh he fell off kind of early and then came out and like I did not expect him to show up and be doing as well as he is. He's been hitting the gym and fucking like
Yeah.
he's undefeated at TCW, where we've all been kind of like doing our like monthly wrestling
What's
kind of
TCW
promotion,
stand for?
traditional championship wrestling.
Okay.
Little small and a little hole in the wall place. Let them try out their funny shit before we bring them up to XCF, and
Oh yeah.
then they get to hit their spots. Um, One guy that's amazing is Trashman Gump. Is hilarious. He's a sanitation worker and just loves cleanliness. So he's trying to clean up the wrestling scene around here.
Oh my god.
Everyone
We need
seems
to
to
get
have.
him and Mop Boy from CSW and Primos out here. They
We
need
ought
to
to
get together.
we ought to do a full on XCF invasion, but for
I'm
Slave,
for it.
but none of them are about that deathmatch life besides me and Shane Mercer and Satu.
Yeah, Satu. I was gonna say Satu's crazy.
Oh,
Speaking
for
of
sure.
crazy, what about Overkill?
Oh yeah, he's a freaking maniac, man. I don't really like.
Yeah.
I don't really know a whole lot about him. I've only legitimately have only seen him on the video. I take off shortly after my match and kind of I'm 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 real leery of wrestlers, so I just kind of like call the promoter up, like find out when my match is and shit, then show up
Yeah.
like not too long before I wrestle. So I was like, legitimately don't know too much about that dude,
Just
which
stop
is
by the booking office every now and then. I got you. I
yeah,
understand.
man, yeah. And it's like
Get them free magazines.
and it's weird because like saying it like that sounds like I'm like, oh, I'm kayfabing you on Overkill, but it's like I really just don't have much to say about him. I don't know a whole
Yeah.
lot, you know.
Yeah, beast though. Beast.
Fisherman Jenkins, his manager, I know him though. He's this cat that all of his characters, like he's a manager, and all of his
Mhm.
the wrestling characters that he'd manage would be like our alternate gimmicks in a mask, right? So like, I had a guy named Hobo Jones, and
I
then
was gonna bring him up. I was gonna
oh
bring
hell
him
yeah,
up. Let's go.
that's a different story. But Fisherman Jenkins, though, all of his characters were his crazy children, and he would like abuse the kids growing up and like be really shitty to their mom, then ditch their mom and take the kid with him and then make them his wrestler, his wrestling minions. So
Yeah.
that one was always funny. Hobo Jones legitimately was my tribute to Homeless Jimmy
That's so awesome.
back in the day because I forgot what website it was on. It might have just been the XPW website, but we found out about XPW. We would like be in school and be on the class computer and be looking up. We found out they would block a bunch of websites, but we found out a way around it, of course. And we would look
Yeah.
up wrestling videos and shit. And a buddy of mine showed me a bunch of XPW stuff, like some Vic Grimes, New Jack, fucking Homeless Jimmy, Supreme, and all those guys. And I found out about them like back when I was in high school. And then
Yeah.
Hobo Jones was my tribute to Homeless Jimmy. So when Aidan Blackhart starts doing death matches and Homeless Jimmy is in the scene again before he retired for good, or for the first time, I think he's back. Uh,
He might be back.
everyone comes back. But
Boy,
no,
we be Terry Funkin' out here in the Indies.
yeah. My goal is to retire once on the Indies. Everyone's like, "Oh, you know one retires on the Indies. You retire for what? You don't get paid. Blah blah blah." I get that, but no. Once I decide to hang up the boots, I'm doing it one time, no more. I want to.
Boy.
I want to like hold my word to that. I don't know when I'm gonna do it yet necessarily. This isn't me foreshadowing it yet, but like I always see so many dudes like, oh, I'm retiring, then come back within a year. It's like, did you really retire? Or did you take a break? Did you have to? Did you
Mm.
need to announce your break?
He just needed a small vacation that was
Yeah, man.
elongated.
Yeah, just go on your vacation, go do your thing, blah 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 blah. We'll still be here. You don't have to announce
Boy.
your retirement.
Yeah, yeah. Bowl it over a little more, man. I
Here, I'm just
know
gonna
all
let
the
you like look
beautiful
at video
games.
games, and I'm gonna let you like talk to video games instead of me.
Where's the shake weight? Why ain't that up there?
Oh, I fucking autographed it and sold it to a fan forever ago, actually.
Boy,
Yep. Sold that.
that was a good start to the Aidan Blackheart, huh? Speak on that, the shake weight. Why'd you want to do that as a gimmick?
The promoter I was wrestling for, Rick Brady. I have to give Rick Brady full props for that. And it really taught me like how to structure a match, taught me how to work, so to speak, and got me out of my shell and taught me how to uh, be me really. And then once I got once I ditched it, it took the shake weight away and just became just me. It was like uh, I had all the tools under my belt to do that finally, you know. So I have to 100%. I'll always give Rick Brady props. He is one of the my favorite people in wrestling ever. He used to be a promoter, he used to be a manager for Mid South and a bunch of other promotions all over the place. As far as wrestling shit, I don't got a whole lot of stuff out. I'm in my living room right now. I don't got a
Yeah.
whole lot. Is there a way to flip my camera around?
I I couldn't tell you. He gone.
Oh, oh,
No,
okay.
now he back. Guess
I was gonna
not.
say if I could flip my, I don't want to. I can't reach it because it's up on a bookshelf across the room. But if I could flip my camera around, I got a Commodore 64
Ooh.
wrestling game. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. It's like all the fucking way up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that.
Most of my wrestling memorabilia is kind of back in my bedroom. I've got some Tracy Smothers WCW trading
Let's
cards
go.
that he gave me. He
That's
gave me like
awesome.
he gave me like 4 or 5 packs of them, and I kept all the Tracys and a couple like Ric Flairs and stuff.
Shout out to
I
Dad.
Yeah, Tracy's the shit, man. And then another cat, he makes. Have you ever seen Horror Slam footage?
Yes.
There's a guy local to Detroit. He's the coolest fucking dude in the world. Like he's got the best energy. I love this cat to death. He's got an eye patch. But he makes these watercolor paintings of everybody and gets our blood from our match and smears it on our face of the watercolor painting that he makes.
I like that. That's cool as hell.
Let's see what I can. Right, this controller right here is a zombie face Necronomicon looking
Yeah, I think I
controller.
saw you post that. That was a cool ass controller.
A fan sent me that from Australia, which
That's
is
dope.
freaking sick. Cause it's like when you do shit like this, man, like it's crazy. But somebody in across the world knows who Rocco McSweets is and thinks he's a cool fucking dude. He just never
Isn't that
reached it.
weird?
He
That's
just
so
never reached
weird.
out to you and said something, but he sees your shit and hears your voice on a wrestling video that he looked up on YouTube or whatever it is, you know. And it's like so crazy
He heard
how
the
like
stapled cooter line at ADT2 and was like, that's my dude. That's
yeah
my
yeah
guy right
yeah.
there. Speaking of AWR real quick, they sent a comment. They said, say some clout for me, hashtag We World Order Clout Collective. Speak
Oh
about the
fuck
We
yeah.
World Order and the Clout Collective.
I
We're a part
saw
of
a
both.
bunch of like, and there's a wrestling group called the Cult of Kayfabe, which I think everybody's in, right? And people
Yeah.
would share weed related memes and put hashtag WWO, hashtag Weed World Order. So I just kind of like took that shit, made it my own, you know.
Hell yeah.
And this is like probably 2 3 years before I met Gary, 4 or 5 years
Hmm.
before I met you, because I knew Gary a couple of years before I met you, and
Yeah.
then it was like I'm just gonna make NWO shirts, but green and put Weed World Orders. Everybody would, everybody that smokes weed will want that. That's cool as fuck, and they always sold out. So I just started doing that. Fuck it, and then I met Gary, and he just immediately started fucking with me because of it, and then started telling me about you guys, and y'all like your set of Weed World Order. So it's actually kind of like it's like wrestling's Crips. We got our different Weed
Boy.
World Order sets all across the world. We just holler at each other and fucking link up, man, for
Yeah.
life.
You got
Instead
all
of
the different sets. You know what I'm saying? We
instead
got the
of
crib set. We over here in the
oh,
GD set.
my shirt, instead of it saying for life, it said to Smiz.
Yeah. I love that shirt with the cross bongs and stuff.
Oh no, see that's my Bullet Club shirt. I'm talking about my Weed World Order shirt that I
Didn't
had.
it say
Like
Weird World Order on it too?
it did, but like underneath the
Okay.
box down there, because they had the NWO shirt that said for life underneath the NWO, and I think they had something on the back of it too. So I ripped that one off and put two Smiz underneath
Hell yeah.
the Weed World Order box on my shirt. My Bullet Club shirt, that one says like 420 and a bunch of other shit. It's got the bongs on it and
Yeah.
everything.
That one's a mess, but it's beautiful. I love it. It's one of my favorite shirts.
It's a little like inside, like you got to know who the Bullet Club is and know
Yeah.
of their Biz Quiz T-shirt because they had a Biz Quiz T-shirt that I think Gallows and Anderson
Yep.
they wore those all the time, and they used the phrase Biz Quiz the most.
Gallows was huge behind that phrase. He would
Yeah,
push it everywhere.
yeah. So I
Sex
stole the
Ferguson, the whole situation.
there you go. So I stole the Gallows and Anderson Biz Quiz design and turned it into Smiz Quiz because why not, dude? Like,
Yeah.
but their shirts still got like the cross bongs and all this other shit. So I was like, why not? Oh
How'd you
hey,
come up with the Clout
shit.
Collective? Oh, look at that, boy.
One
Two
of the, one of
Smiz.
these one of these still
We were.
exists.
It accidentally just fell into your lap. What the hell just happened?
My lovely secretary took care of me, dug it
Oh,
out for me.
yes.
My secretary wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, well, my wife hears my loud ass from the other side of the hallway and the other side of the apartment and just tossed it to me.
Yeah, y'all seem to have a fun relationship, man. Y'all seem
Oh,
happy.
she's the shit. She's the shit, man.
You can tell. I can tell, like, by just your kids and y'all, the whole relationship. Y'all, it's cool. I like the vibe, man.
For sure, for sure. She really elevated me as a wrestler. Like, there's a lot of things I didn't like. On paper, this sounds stupid, but like I'm like some bumfuck redneck from the middle of Kentucky, so like I don't know shit about flying to like Colorado or flying to LA or any of this stuff. So
Yeah.
when I met her, like wanted to travel more, and I'd always like drove and stuff. But she's like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah, you just do this. Plane tickets are cheap." It just kind of like helped smarten me up to like being out on the other end of the country and shit. Just a different way of like planning
Was
ahead
she
and
involved in wrestling in any way?
no, not at all. I met
Okay.
her through like an internet dating app, and she was like,
Hell
"A
yeah.
wrestler? Really? Am I gonna go on a date with a fucking wrestler? Well, okay, like that kind of shit."
That's cool.
Which is also sort of cool because like whenever we go to shows, she used to do plays and marching band and a bunch of other performing arts. So
Oh,
like
all right.
she'll have a cool take on wrestling sometimes. We went to see SmackDown. And if you've ever seen, everyone's seen the clips where like the hard cam side, there's nobody sitting there. But when you're in the crowd watching it, the wrestlers still pander to that camera. So it
Yeah.
looks like they're pandering to nobody.
Yep.
But when you do indie wrestling all the time, which is what she's primarily seen, she's seen and experienced more independent deathmatch wrestling than fucking anything, right? So
Boy.
we pander to the crowd 100% of the time usually.
Yeah, the entire time. Yeah.
Especially if there's no cameras. Because I've done a lot of
Mm,
shows where they're not even filming it whatsoever, so we're just crowd interaction the whole time.
yep.
So she's used to getting fucked with in the interaction of an indie crowd. So when we go to SmackDown, she's like, I felt like I was watching a play. Like I felt like I was at a wrestling play instead of a wrestling show, which was like
Yeah.
such a cool take on it. That like whatever. Like if I was sitting there with a bunch of wrestlers, they would critique it entirely different. You know, and I think
Right? Yeah, it would
I,
be a
I
complete different.
I appreciate that. I think as wrestlers and commentators or managers or promoters or whoever we are, like we need to stay in tune with that opinion that isn't so inside, you know.
Yeah.
Like
That's definitely a different way of looking at it too, because I mean, I go to pretty much every WWE event that comes to town, and that's I mean, versus what I see at the Roxy.
yeah,
Even the hard cam is enveloped in people, like
yeah.
people are surrounding the hard cam. So, at WWE where it's like an empty wall of just seats, it is pretty eerie.
I gotta say the Roxy is my favorite Primos venue. Like the Watering Bowl's fucking amazing. That's actually hard to beat. But the way that Joey set up the murder box and the stage and the crowd and the energy and all that shit, that was like so much fucking fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they got planned this year for Slave. And then, for ADT too, man, we got some big plans for that. I think it's gonna be an outdoor arena.
Yup.
So it's good.
I'm excited to face Anakin because he is going to be a big challenge for me. He's small, he's fast, he's fucking aggressive, and knows 1,000 wrestling moves where I'm the total opposite. I'm a brawler. I'm slow. I'm a lot of different things, and I feel like
You're trying to cut people's faces off with a saw.
yeah, man. I think he's gonna be hard to catch. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun to call it live. I'll be happy to be there in person doing
Will
the
you do it?
commentary.
Will
And
you do it naked?
if you need me to, like, yeah, shit. You just gotta send me some taint pics. This naked commentary. Why didn't anybody show up? Oh well, Rocco was naked the whole time.
Hey, no, I don't know, man. All these wrestling dudes are always referencing GG Allen like it's the coolest thing ever. So why don't you
Boy,
just show up naked and fling poop on them?
start.
They'll love it.
Oh man, fling the poo everywhere. Oh, I don't know. That's a rough one. I don't think I could ever live up to GG Allen, man. That dude is a wild one.
Yeah, all these motherfuckers want to reference GG Allen, but I don't see nobody flinging shit and getting slammed out on heroin. You fucking pussies.
Yeah, how
calling.
dare you guys? How dare you?
I'm calling out every single wrestler that references GG Allen. All of you at once. There's too many to
Boy,
name. Every single one of you, fucking do heroin and fling poop like a real
if you
GG Allen fan, or you're a fucking
you heard
poser
it here.
pussy.
You're not. Yeah, you're a poser. You ain't got no clout.
No
Okay,
clout.
get on stage.
You get no fucking clout until you fling poop and do heroin. That's
I'm
it.
really glad that I got all my clout before this era. All right,
Hell
before
yeah,
you
man.
made up these rules, I'm so glad. Speaking of clout, let's talk about the Clout Collective, man. There's a lot of good folks in there.
Oh, fucking, we all bonded coming to see you. Remington, Roar, Chet Ripley, Hardcore Hillbilly, and then when we get to fucking Denver, we go down the basement and become basement trolls with Fuji Brown. And then just hanging out, man. Yeah,
Little goblins in the basement.
goblins in the basement. Fucking, and honestly, like, I'm saying it silly, but no, these are a couple of dudes that, like, I could, like, hit up at any time for advice or, like,
Yeah,
call on each other if needed. Fucking Flemington was stuck up in like northern Ohio and hit me up, and I just happened to know some people who live close to him who brought him down to where he needed to be. So we're trying to be a family, and take care of each other, that kind of shit.
yeah.
And you made that super dope Spice Girls T-shirt, which
Love it.
plan is, assuming everything happens and we all come out to Slave again this year, I want to actually print those out and
That'd
then
be
just do
awesome.
like a very limited, like each member of the Clout Collective has like 10 to sell off, and we sell them kind of at a premium, but we each keep a size. Like we make sure we have a
Yeah,
size for each one of us.
yeah, that's cool. It was a fun logo to make, man. And then all the guys, I love everybody. Rem, love their boyfriend Indrid. I love Chet. Chet's one of my really good friends. Me and him, we stay in contact pretty well.
Chet is one of the coolest human beings in the world. I have
Very cool.
a Chet Ripley Pokemon card in my rares folder.
Yeah, dude. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to. I have some other loose cards on top, but same in my rares. The first card is Chet Ripley. I have two of them.
Great.
Yeah, I love him. I got his shirt and everything. Have you been to his new store?
So I swung by it. I'm a delivery driver, and it's 2 hours north of me. So I was on a route and swung by, but I was like 30 minutes before they opened, so he wasn't even there. So I was like, hey, man, I swung by, but I couldn't sit. Have you been getting into this set of Pokemon, the Scarlet and Violets?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't figure my camera out. I'm a loser today.
This is my most recent pull. It's a Pokemon Go, but I was pretty happy with it. Radiant Venusaur.
I've got one of those. Pokemon Go is so much fun. That set's a lot. That set's the shit.
Yeah. Also, it's not an actual card, but I got a pretty cool I bought a shirt. It was a Gengar shirt, and I got this like cool, like a graded Gengar, foil.
Okay. I
Oh,
had
pretty
a
neat.
I had a funny interaction on Facebook. I'm sure everyone will be thrilled to hear this. No, for real though, this guy was at a on marketplace trying to sell Pokemon cards, but like he had maybe 5 rares that were, if you total it up, because we did, and showed him this in the comments, but it was like $17 worth of rares, and he was trying to charge 110.
Ugh.
So we were like I'm just like laughing at him and stuff, and just kind of being polite because I don't want to go back to Facebook jail. This dude, he's like they're cussing each other out like fucking dogs over these Pokemon cards, and he's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Why are you trying to fucking take money out of my mouth?" And we're like, "Dude, those cards are nowhere near worth that. You're charging $100 for less than $20 worth of cards. Like, the
Boy,
fuck out of here. We're trying to save some poor parent getting ripped the fuck off, you know?"
some kid's gonna be like, "They're foil though, mom. They're foil. I need them."
Are you into Magic the Gathering?
Love Magic the Gathering.
Have you heard of the One Ring to Rule Them All?
No, I have not.
So they're doing a Lord of the Rings tie-in,
Oh,
and they're making a card of the One Ring to rule them all. And they're making a card of the One Ring to rule them all. They're making
just one, huh?
one of fucking one. There's a
Oh,
company that's already got a
this is
million
gonna be
dollar.
more expensive than the Lotus card.
There's one dude that's got a million. There's a company that has $1 million bounty, and Post Malone himself says he will come to your house and buy it from you, no matter like whatever the price is. He wants it
Yeah,
that bad because Post
I
is
can
like a
imagine.
huge Magic fan, right?
Yeah,
But
huge. He's such a big nerd, man. I love it. Have you
and
seen his the custom PC that he had built?
uh
It's a water cooled Bud Light custom PC. It's
that's
amazing. You got to
that's
check it out.
hilarious. That's hilarious,
Yeah, but let's keep
actually.
talking about the Magic the Gathering.
No, yeah, there's a one of fucking one Magic the
That's
Gathering
really
card, the
cool.
One Ring to rule them all, and I think I bet it's gonna show up like at a convention or some YouTubers gonna get it. It's not like
Yeah.
it's probably not just gonna go out in the wild, but me and a couple of my friends were laughing, like belly laughing. What if some just like dude, like some nerd cave troll basement dweller gets this card and tells nobody,
No
hides it
one
in
and
their
just
house
has it.
like
Like
fucking
Golem.
Gall. Yeah, like
Just go.
Gollum.
Yeah, exactly. I have this card.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
boy.
what needs to happen. Like, there needs to be some dude just sitting there holding this fucking magic card, like, my precious, for
Do you
eternity.
do you play any other card games?
No, I don't. Actually, I play Pokemon a little bit, but I play with my 11-year-old, so we buy the pre-made decks,
Oh, okay, yes. Me
and
and
then we'll
Jackson use the exact same ones.
battle each other with using those. And we've also got the like they sell it at Walmart and Target, like learn how to play Pokemon, and they've got a couple of decks of those, plus the
That
other.
like box set. It's like a box. It looks like a board game. I got
Yeah,
that
yeah,
for him. Yeah.
we'll pull out that board and use the board game still, and then I'll use pre-made decks, and then I've been giving my 11-year-old the World Championship decks, but using the other pre-made decks, and finally getting my ass kicked. So they've been
Hell
loving
yeah.
it.
That's awesome. I got a new card game actually. It's called Alpha Clash. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
The new one. It's based
No,
off like superheroes. Artwork's really good. All done by former Marvel comic book artists. And yeah, just started up. It's a new thing.
have
But
you ever heard of Force of Will?
no, I have not.
There's a game called Force of Will, and me and Remington were in a card and like video game shop, and this guy was like, "Hey, I got all these promo cards. We all just won them and gave us each like an entire promo pack of the Force of Will cards, but they're a Peter Pan set, which is like
Huh.
one of my wife's favorite Disney movies. So I brought them home to
Yeah.
her. I was like, "Hey, baby, check this out." I don't think they're worth a fuck ton or anything, but it's just kind of cool to have like a whole full unopened promo set of some shit.
Yeah, I actually got these from Larry Nabisco, which you know.
Yeah.
He's a big card game guy, huge card game guy. And he's an ambassador for this new card game, Alpha Clash. And gave me that. I was really surprised going through the cards. One of the cards is Denver, Colorado. It's like it's like a land or something you can play. It's pretty cool.
Nice, nice. I quit playing Magic. I had a whole box of just really dope decks that I had built, and they were a bit
Oh,
older because I had like played for a while then stopped, and played for a while then
same.
stopped. So the last time I got back into it, I built a bunch of my old favorite decks, and we actually went out and finally cherry picked the cards that I wanted. Not the ultra expensive ones by any means, nothing too crazy, but I just had some really cool decks. I had one built around Platinum Angel and
Okay.
putting defenses around it to where you couldn't really fuck with it at all. And then I would just set it out there and do nothing. I wouldn't attack
Yeah.
you. I can't lose and you can't win. And I would just watch people get frustrated.
Yeah.
That kind
I
of
had a
shit,
lot of
right?
fun. One of my favorite ways to play Magic is elongating the game. I know that, if you're in a tournament setting, snap, try and get that win. But
Yep.
if I'm playing like me and you, I want to play for an hour. I want to see
Same.
what you got in your deck. I want to.
Yep.
So I have a deck. It's a Bloodline Keeper deck. I don't know
Okay.
if you know that card. So basically,
No.
it's infinite vampires. So I just have this flying army of 4/4 vampires that's
Okay.
just sitting, and I have four of them, and then I use clone cards alongside that. So basically, it's ridiculous.
My
And then I
favorite
use
deck.
the bloody tome of blood, the curse of the bloody tome, which you have to discard four cards every turn,
Mhm.
and I have four of those. So once those get on it's just yeah,
I had a deck that was built around sapperling tokens, and then I would amass a huge army of saps, and then either if and then just attack you with like 100 1/1 tokens at once, just crazy shit like that. Or I make them all 5/5s or 10/10s. I had different ways to beef them up, and then I had like a fail safe in my that I would keep in my hand if people started turning the tides on me and figured out a way to take me out. I had a card that said all sapperlings are forests in addition to their other creature types. And then I had another card that said when a sapperling or when a forest comes into play, put a sapperling into play. So the second I would pop that really quick as an instant because you could just at any time take 3 counters off of a sapperling and then put a 1/1 into play. So, so I would just kind of sit there, and if no one caught what that did, I would wait for them to like when they're about to beat me, I would pop that infinite loop. So every time a sap comes into play, it's also a forest land. That card says every time a forest comes into play, a 1/1 comes into play, which is also a forest. And I would just sit there and just like I had a whole fucking box of tokens. And I would
yeah.
just sit there and look at them in their face and be like, and when a forest comes into play, a 1/1 comes into play, which is also a forest, and just repeat that sentence over and over and over
That's
because
almost as
it's
bad as a sliver deck.
Oh, it's almost as bad. Almost. Slivers are the worst thing.
They're the
Fucking
worst
worst. The
ever.
undefeated as far as cheap bullshit cards. Like
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck. There's a way to beat them. Blah blah blah. They're not undefeated as far as unbeatable. You can beat a
yeah,
sliver deck. Blah blah blah. But once they get going, the level of insane
boy,
bullshit. Fuck that.
it's so ridiculous. Yeah, man.
My shit was like a few steps down from that.
Yeah, just same with mine. It was like a few steps down, but I just had this mass army, and I could just I like you. I could return them back from the grave with another card, and then it would just be this repeated process of like,
You
well,
know,
what are we doing here?
everything comes full circle in life, right? So the first time I went out to Primos to wrestle for Slave of the Death Match, I rode with Adam Bueller, rest in peace. The whole
Yeah.
way there, we talked about Magic the Gathering and Death Metal,
Mm.
but we had a long Magic the Gathering conversation. I got your job at Primos. Now me and you are sitting here on a podcast talking about Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, boy, that's crazy.
Fucking awesome.
I'll have to bring my deck to Slave, and or I'll come up to the palace the night before or something. We can
Hell
play
yeah,
some
hell
Magic.
yeah. I
That'll be
know
fun.
Set 2 brought his deck. I got back to my tragedy. I think my sister stole them and sold them or something stupid like that. But I lost all my fucking cards and just I don't have the heart
Uh,
anymore. I can't put the money into it. I can't
uh,
go down that rabbit hole. only reason I really buy Pokemon cards is my daughters are into them. So okay,
Same.
I'll do it for the kids.
Do the
That
kids have
kind
any
of,
cool like graded cards or anything fun like that?
nothing great, but we got some pretty sick rares. I would have to run in there and go through the thing and
Oh
like
yeah, you don't have
flip
to.
through
Yeah,
them.
no
But
worries
yeah,
about that.
whenever I get doubles, I've been. This is something Chet actually taught me, or is a good hustle for wrestling. Is whenever I get extra rares that aren't worth a whole bunch, I will put them. I will repackage and make booster packs again. But instead of one rare, you get two, and there's
Yep.
15 cards instead of 10. So, and I've got all them up in an envelope and stuff, and repackaged. And so I'll just go sell all my old Pokemon cards off to go buy new Pokemon cards.
Yeah, like at the merch booth it shows.
Yep.
Yeah, it's CWC, one of the companies out here that just started. Chad Kalina, he
Yeah.
started the company, and he's a huge Pokemon guy. So one
Yep.
of our sponsors is the 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 trading card battlefield. There we go.
Okay.
And they have a booth at every show, and I'm talking graded cards in like a lock case and box sets and all that. So I
I
grabbed
know.
Jackson a
I know
graded
Chad doesn't
Diglett.
answer his DMs a whole lot. Obviously,
Uh-oh. 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 Aidan is paused.
I'm
Oh,
paused.
nope. Well, now you're back. There you go. You're back. He's
Tell
back.
tell Chad to book me, or else he loses
Chad,
all his clout points.
no cloud points. I'll let him
Flight
know.
flights are cheap. I'll whore myself out. I don't give a fuck. Let's go to. I
Cool.
want to go to Denver.
Yeah, dude, get your butt out here. It'd be a blast. It'd be Colorado Springs,
Oh hell yeah!
but still,
I,
it's a blast
so
down there. We got In and Out we go to, so
so I don't know if like people where you're from do this, but like when I get to Michigan, I'm in Detroit the whole time. When I get to Colorado, I'm in Denver the whole time.
yeah,
When I get to California, I'm in LA the whole time. You know, in my
yeah.
head, I so like I'll be like, oh yeah, I was in Detroit, dude. No, you were in, and then they'll say
You were
like
in the
somewhere
Springs,
2
bro.
hours away. You know, like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I was out in Denver. No, dude, you were in fucking the Springs. What?
Yeah.
That
No,
kind of
no,
shit.
I don't think you understand. I was in Denver.
Yeah, pretty much. As soon as you cross the line of the state, I'm in fucking Denver now, bitch.
So let's jump into some XCF stuff. I know you got some matches coming up there with Lord Crew for the Destroyer title. Is there
Yep.
anything that you have lined up outside of XCF?
I got monthly shows at TCW. We kind of
We spoke a little bit there.
yeah, they're a little under the radar, but we do like our they're basically XCF's NXT. We have
Okay.
our XCF guys like coming in and practicing out their moves and doing getting their match experience in there. And then honestly, like I've been sort of banged up and focusing
Mm.
on other things. So I really don't like hit wrestling as hard as I fucking should, man.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I know that after the last show, you kind of messed up your hip, right? And you weren't able
So
to sleep very good.
yeah, my hip's been really shitty, and then like at ADD2, I hurt my back really bad, and then that was 2 years ago, but like
Yeah.
I've just been kind of like taking it slow and working more on like building my bank account up and like focusing on family and shit, and
Did
then
that back injury come when Rem threw that giant light tube spike at you?
nope.
No, that was
It
crazy.
was when
That was nuts.
it was when I suplexed him onto a giant pile of chairs.
Uh,
One of them just caught me in the back all weird and
yep.
just fucked me
Just hit
up.
it funny.
The
That
Tokyo
super light
Tower.
tube cabin you had made, that was nuts too.
I love that shit.
It was fun.
And then like hitting the road and getting my face out there, like it's weird. Like if I send out DMs, most of them just leave me on red, right? Of the places
Mm,
that I want to go to and do death matches at. And then I know if like I showed up with the homies, I could probably get a spot on the card. But like sometimes I would have to like drive all the way across the country to do that. And like sometimes that's not feasible
yeah.
when you got your kids that weekend or and shit like that. So
Exactly.
I've been sort of putting wrestling a little bit on the back burner as far as like traveling out there because like it sucks because all the opportunities are in California or New Jersey or whatever, which is 12 to, it's either a 12-hour car ride or a 4-hour flight across the country. It's
Were you at
totally
that show
doable.
recently in New Jersey? I think it was called No Man's Land.
Wasn't that Ruthless
It was like a
Pro?
deathmatch show. I know Provider was there.
I think it was Ruthless Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. I'm
And like,
unsure who did it.
I'm not sure, but yeah, it's really hard for me to like get out there as far as getting my name in death matches go. And there's not a lot of shit going on in my area like there used to be. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a combination of laziness and a couple other things.
He's a slacker.
Uh-huh. I play video games all day.
All day. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hey,
So
we're,
who's
we're,
like
we're going on about wrestling. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
I've
I
got.
grew up playing all the wrestling games. I actually enjoyed like the Legends games or like the I think it was AAA had a wrestling game. There we go. Rumble Roses. Yeah. That's actually a good game. Like
Yeah,
that's
and
people
yeah,
don't
actually,
understand that that's a legit good game.
yeah, the game's
Like
badass.
yeah.
Or then I've got. It's either all or New Japan. I can't remember based and these guys are all funny.
Oh
But
boy.
it's got Virtua Fighter
Okay.
characters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a Japanese.
You got all those classics, huh? You got all the little rare
And
gems. Jeez.
I got some old Fire Pro.
God, and they're all in such good condition too. All these game cases are like immaculate.
I love it, man. Fucking, I like the shinies.
Boy, I like the shinies. Has there been
Some
in professional wrestling? Was there been a match that you would say is the shiniest, the best, the one that you're like, man, I could go back and rewatch that,
oh fuck. Um,
or even an
Shiniest
opponent
match
that
in
you're
pro
like, yo,
wrestling.
this is the dude, this is the guy that I can make magic with every time.
Okay, so on like large scale, like if anyone could go, like if I had to recommend a match for anyone to watch ever, just of pro wrestling, it has to be Bret Hart Stone Cold WrestleMania 13, hands down. That's like one of the best storytelling, best fucking matches ever.
Yeah,
And it really launched. That's what really launched Stone Cold and launched heel Bret, which is like fucking prime of both of those. So
so
fucking
good.
that WrestleMania match. Somebody I like where I could wrestle over and over. Fuck, there's
Yeah,
so many. Chet Remington. I want another match with Hillbilly since he's leveled up. I
yeah,
really
he's
like
leveled up a ton.
I really like wrestling like high flyers and shit. That's a lot. That's a lot of fun. That's why one reason I'm excited for me and Anakin. Um, Murdoch's like one of the best professional wrestlers out there. Period. So he can make anyone look good, and wrestling him's always easy. Two's a lot of fun. I could just go on and on about people,
Yeah.
man. I miss the. I don't know if you know who the Hooligans are, but they're
Mm-hmm.
one of the
Yeah.
best tag
They
teams
were at the
fucking
first
ever.
ADT, right?
Yeah.
They were at
Yep.
ADT one and they did
Yes,
that
sir.
barefoot fucking gimmick, like bruh.
They're some of the best fucking road dogs. Love the Hooligans. I can't give them enough props fucking forever. And like they let me ride in the car with them and like gave me some good advice too. So I have to like credit them for helping me out too.
Who
They're
did you train underneath? Who got you started in this, man?
initially like XCF with Mercer and just kind of jumping into pro wrestling in like Central Kentucky because they basically were like, hey, go get your Kentucky license. We'll put you straight in the ring. And when you're a kid, you don't know any better. You just do it,
Yeah.
right? Then I sort of had a little hiatus, came back, went to Mid South, and I did D1W, became a shake weight guy, and I knew how to like bump and wrestle a little bit because of backyard, da 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 da. But then after becoming shake weight guy, I went to Mid South, and Ian just put me in the ring with a bunch of people, and that really just sort of cut me and whipped me into shape as far as like showing me how to wrestle and this, that, and other. And then we did, and we did do some like training before the shows for a while too, also. And then after that, I kind of parted ways with them. I started going out to the school at Smothers in
Okay.
Franklin, Illinois. Yeah, I think it's Franklin, Illinois, and then doing classes with Tracy. And then there for a while, he had me like showing the mechanical part of it because he's Tracy. He walks with a limp. He doesn't need to get in there and doing back bump, body drop, pick up.
This is the man that got naked and changed in the middle of a shoot interview, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Yeah,
my
man.
goated.
If you've been in the locker room with Tracy Smothers, you've seen him get naked in front
No
of
fucks
guys
given.
like that.
He's Tracy.
No
He's
fucks
Tracy.
given. But yeah, he had me like teaching, helping teach class a lot, and we do like a lot of
That's
promo
cool.
classes and shit, and also hang out. Like I really got to give those weekends at the School of Smothers props to like I actually got to hang out with Tracy and like sit there in the car, smoke some weed, and listen to the stories from back in the day. And he had this uncanny knowledge of going up to you and like once you sat down and talked to him, he'd be like, "Oh, who are the OGs of like from back home? Where are you from?" And once you told him where you're from, he's like, "Oh," and then start mentioning like the OGs and people from back where you're from and shit. And I didn't expect him to be like, "Oh, okay, Marion County, da 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 da," and just go into detail about where I grew up like that. And so, I love Tracy to death,
Something that you have that's pretty unique to you, your style of promos. Like
man. Yeah,
you
thank you.
you got such a unique style of promo that's not seen anywhere else. It's uniquely yours. Where did you brainstorm that? How did you come up with that?
Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job. Off
Really? Okay.
off Adult Swim, they have this very. I don't do it in the same manner they do, but it's like very abrupt, random ass editing, and that's kind of
Yeah.
the vein of it. And then what I'll do is, this is like the peek behind the curtain, is I'll sit there and I'll cut an entire promo, right? And I'll sit there and think about what I'm saying and like fuck up and do retakes, but I won't stop the camera and then restart it again. And then I'll take that entire thing and then I'll cut those little moments of that's where like in my promos you'll catch me being like shit like that, just like randomly and stuff, and then I'll like
I like when it plays the Zelda music and you're sitting there squatted with your axe and shit, or like that
yeah, then I try to
cracks me up.
and that stuff's
What's
like
up,
the
Chris?
music and the random like me random doing that random shit. That's the really the role the Tim and Eric influence getting thrown in there.
That's awesome. That's so cool. That was one of my favorite cartoons, or well, shows, I guess, on Adult Swim. It could get cartoony, but
Yeah,
I
oh yeah,
love
for
those two.
sure.
The pizza pretzel crust stuff that they're doing now. Have you seen that?
Uh
It's a Little Caesars commercial,
okay.
and it's Eric, and he's doing the pizza pretzel crust. Dude, you gotta look it up. He's ridiculous.
Great. I need to start doing like random like little jingles in my promos, but Lord Crew, gonna kill you.
Just have like all of a sudden, just in the middle of it, Chet Ripley screaming at the sky, ah, and a rainbow shooting out of his mouth. I can
Yeah,
help.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
help with this.
Gotcha. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna start sending you the rough drafts and have you like
Yeah.
make poop fly out of everything.
Everything that, yeah, poop and flocka.
Well, Rocco, sir, I'm getting the green light to go eat dinner here in a minute.
Yep, I was about to jump off here too, brother. I
Hell
appreciate you
yeah.
jumping in here with
I
me.
love sitting here chatting with you as always, and I can't wait to see
Yeah.
you again, sir.
Yeah, dude, soon enough, I'll talk to Chad, and then with Primo Slave coming up, and then I'll be out there in July. We'll be hanging out,
Absolutely. So,
man.
so okay, so July will be the next time I confirm see you. Fuck yeah.
Yep, July. Make sure you bring dabs, because Gary don't ever bring shit like that for me.
Oh, I got you all day.
Appreciate you, homie.
My dude's got like shit flown in from probably where you live or whatever. So no, I can get you whatever you
Do you
want.
have any social medias or anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Fuck no, don't follow me. Leave me the fuck alone. All of you fuck off.
I love you, man. That's been Aidan Blackhart. Clout Floccula. I love you, man. We're gonna get out of here. I appreciate you all for sticking with me. I'm Rocco McSweets. This has been the Sweet Spot, your sweetest source for all things professional wrestling. I'll be back next Tuesday with a special guest. Y'all gonna have to follow the page, tune in to all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. Check us out. See what we're doing next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Rocco McSweets. I'm gonna leave you guys with a little ad friendliness. Have a good one.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay?